All right, so here on my bench, I've got two of my most used metalworking tools. This is my cordless metal cutting circular saw and my cordless magnetic drill. Now, before anyone gets crazy, I bought both of these and neither of them was very cheap, but both of them have allowed me to be super productive in my shop, regardless of the fact that I have a good amount of room, but not really enough to do big jobs. Now, if you're gonna get into any sort of metal work, you're gonna inevitably have to deal with the lengths that steel comes in. Now in my case, most of the steel that I buy is 24 foot long if it's tube or 20 foot long if it's solid. Now my shop is pretty big, it's about 3,000 square feet, but the way my doors are set up, I can't get a 24 foot long piece of heavy material in here very easily. On the rack behind me, I've got 24 foot lengths of small things like 1x1, but it is tough to do a 4x4 column in this shop. That's where something like this metal cutting circular saw really comes in handy. I can break down 24 foot material no matter what it is out in the driveway or even sometimes on the steel guy's truck so that I can bring it in manageable length. And this thing being cordless allows me to be more versatile and kind of offer my services to cut metal out on job sites. Just last week, a contractor that I'm friends with ordered some flitch plates through me. A flitch plate is a steel plate that goes in between wooden beams when you're doing renovation work in like a general contracting world. And the flitch plates were a couple inches too long. Now he could have attacked them with an angle grinder, but instead I popped over and in 15 minutes I cut 1/2x7 with this little circular saw and made quick work of it, less sparks, less mess, and super easy. I've used this circular saw on tons of projects and you've seen me use it all over the shop. From cutting up tube to plate, cutting thick plate, thin plate, big tubes on angles, and I've got all sorts of other saws, but I honestly reach for this more often than most of the other ones. Now I've shared this saw over on my Instagram a bunch and people always ask about the blade life. Now I use the Diablo Cermet 2 blades in these. I always use the same blades. The stock Milwaukee blade that came with it was pretty good, but the Diablo Cermet 2 blades I think are better. They're about 40 bucks on Amazon and I usually keep an extra on hand because the teeth do blow off. But I usually get a couple hundred cuts out of each blade. And once it starts to throw a lot of sparks, you know the blade is starting to get dull, and then you can change it out. So if you're looking for a way to cut metal without buying all these other saws that I bought back here, something like this might be a good option for you. If you do any field work, if you do any heavy plate work and you want to be able to break down plates without a plasma table or a plasma cutter or do work in the field, look into a metal cutting circular saw. Like I said, this one is battery operated, which I really like, but Milwaukee makes the same exact one with a cord. And then there's a bunch of other ones that you can get for less money. And I'll put links to Amazon on some of the ones that I've seen or used. The next thing on the bench is something that I knew I would use, but I didn't realize how much I would use it. And that's this battery-operated electromagnetic drill. So by turning this knob over on the back of the drill, it's now magnetically bonded to the metal table. And this uses a permanent magnet versus an electromagnet. Now you can get these in plug-in or cordless versions like this, but what I like about this one is that the magnet being more manual than electric, if the battery was to die or come out, this thing is still connected to the table. With the electromagnetic mag drills, if that cord comes out of the wall, the bond is broken, and these things can actually be pretty dangerous. One of the things that I really like about this one is that it's got this quick chuck over on the front, which allows me to very quickly pop out annular cutters if it's not jammed, which right now it is, there you go. If it's not jammed, you can quickly pop out annular cutters and you can swap in a drill chuck like this. Now, you'll find that I use this all over the shop when I've got bridge ports, I've got radial drills, I've got so many other ways to drill holes in metal, but I still opt for this sometimes because it's simply just easier for me to bring my drill to the workpiece than it is for me to bring my workpiece to the drill. When I made the tubing roller stand, which was a recent video, I could have taken that all to the drill press, but those were big, heavy pieces. And this thing, while it is pretty heavy, is really easy to move around and get exactly where I want it to so that I can just go ahead and drill what I need to drill. It's super variable in its height and how big of a drill or different tool you can put in it. And honestly, this is one of my favorite tools. This thing has a little LED light, and if the magnet breaks, the drill will turn itself off. It's got through coolant, and honestly, this thing has made me so much money, it's crazy. Now, this is a really expensive tool at close to $3,000, but I bought this one on eBay, lightly used for about 600 bucks, and it has made its money back tenfold, probably more than that, in simply just being able to go ahead and do the work I have to do as quickly and efficiently as possible. Now again, you don't need to buy a battery-operated mag drill. There are tons of options for cheaper mag drills, but if you're getting started in metalworking, especially if you're gonna do any mobile work, look into a really good metal cutting circular saw and a good mag drill with some good annular cutters, which are the drills for it. And with just these two tools, you could work so much more efficiently and get so much more done regardless of the amount of space you have. I wanted to make this video because I get a lot of questions about these tools particularly, and I think a lot of people assume that I got them for free because, let's be honest, I've gotten a lot of stuff from sponsors, but these two things I bought with my own hard-earned money, and they have helped me make even more hard-earned money. This video isn't sponsored by anybody, but I will say my shirts are now available on Amazon, so if you want a Make Everything shirt like this one with the big logo on the back, or any of my other designs or logos, go check out the link down in the description and you can see where those shirts are available. If you're interested in these tools in particular, I'll put links to those as well. I just wanted to quickly jump on here and share two of the tools that have just helped me make so much money because lately I've been using them a lot and I really love them. If both of these disappeared, I would not hesitate for a second. I would buy them both brand new. I would invest the couple $1,000s because I know that money would come back right away. I hope you enjoyed this little video. If you want an in-depth look at either of these, let me know down in the comments. Check me out here on Instagram, and I'll see you on the next one.